Now we're doing my top 5 best films of 2021. I did top 5 worst already. Um, so yeah, let's just kind of get into this here. Yeah, let's get into it, and we'll talk about some movies here. Yeah, I think that's a good start. So let's start with number 5, Army of the Dead. It's interesting. I think a lot of people are gonna get the impression I hate Zack Snyder, from because I put the Snyder Cut on my top 5 worst films. And no, I don't. I don't hate him. I hate a lot of his movies and a lot of his choices. But this movie was a blast. I actually didn't watch this one on Netflix when it came out. I watched this in theaters a week before it came out because it got a theatrical release, and I loved every second of this movie. It was so much ridiculous fun. Yeah, it's a really cool concept, a zombie heist movie, and I've watched this movie multiple times just simply because it's just a fun movie. It's creative. It's stylistically, kind of just fun, and it's this is definitely the most fun I've had at the movies all year. It is a great zombie movie. If you like zombie movies, if you like heist movies, you definitely gotta watch this. And I'm excited for whatever comes next out of this franchise. Don't think they will be nearly as good as this though. But I had a great time watching this movie. I've rewatched this movie more than some of these other movies on this list. I just think, this is one of those great films to have fun with. And yeah, I'm just going to put it here. Next spot on this list is number 4. It's Mitchell's vs. the Machines. This is easily the best animated film of the year. It is so funny, so clever. I've shown this to multiple people. Every single one of them loves it, has a great time with it. The animation's gorgeous. This the rate. I love the relatability of some of the characters in the movie. It's just I've rewatched this and Army of the Dead probably quite a bit of times. It's because something that these films came out on Netflix, but hey, I'm not gonna judge. They're great movies. So yeah, I really really loved this movie. Had a great time. If you love Phil Lord and Chris Miller's stuff like the Lego Movie and Spider Verse, you definitely gotta watch this one. 10 out of 10. Next film on this list is In the Heights. In the Heights. I'm not a huge Lin-Manuel Miranda fan. I'm a fan of some of his stuff, but this film got my attention. I love musicals, and I wanted to see this film opening day. I'm glad I did. I didn't watch this one on HBO Max, even though that was an option. This was such a great movie. The music, and the performances, the way the sequences are shot and put together, they're beautiful. They're just so energetic. This is a soundtrack that I keep pumping. The songs keep coming to my head. It's a movie that, I usually don't buy movies day one, and I've been really debating buying this movie day one because I loved this movie. I had such a great time with this movie. It was so much fun, and I've rewatched it multiple times as well. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts there. Number 2 is Judas and the Black Messiah, which Judas and the Black Messiah is just a really great movie. I was very pissed off this year that did not win Best Picture and Nomadland won instead. I think that was one. If you ask my opinion on the Nomadland thing, while I enjoyed Nomadland somewhat, I think that movie is very clear that it won because the director of that movie is now directing a Marvel movie, and I think Disney bought that award. I'm just gonna say that. I think Disney bought that award, but this is the film that should have won. First of all, has some of the most gorgeous cinematography of the year and some of the most intricate, interesting performances. Has a great soundtrack to it. It is incredibly well done movie, and it's interesting because this is a movie that was made before the pandemic and other things, and yet it feels so timed with our current times and political climate. Has interesting things to say, but yet this movie does not take place in modern day. It takes place in the past. I think it's truly something beautiful that when your film, it feels so on point that it feels like it was made for the times, even though it clearly wasn't. It's touching on a story that didn't happen in current day. It's a beautiful movie. It was my favorite movie of the year for a while, but these 2 other films I think are just better, and we need to put them at number 1. So it's a tie. Number 1 is for between 2 A24 movies. And I'm doing a tie because realistically, Minari is not a 2021 movie, and the reason I say that is because it released at film festivals, I believe, back in 2019 or 2020. So it was releasing there already, but in terms of getting a wide theatrical release where I was able to actually watch it, that happened this year. So I'm counting it as this year. Minari is a great A24 movie. It is a really delightful family drama. It's an easy watch movie. It's delightful. It has so many great characters and moments and great performances. I'm glad some of the actors got some recognition at the Oscars this year, won some for their performances. They were great in this film. Yeah, just really enjoyed it. But the other film it's tied with is another A24 movie, which is The Green Knight. The Green Knight is an actual masterpiece. I know there's a lot of people who debate whether or not this film sucks because of the fact that, well, it isn't a clear narrative. It doesn't have a clear goal that we're working towards. Well, I guess it does, but it's very symbolic of what this film means and what's actually happening. But I enjoyed the journey with our character, what happens to him, what his journey is, what he's going through. And I found it very interesting, very exciting, adventurous. The cinematography in this film is the best of the year. I'm just saying it, best of the year. I mean, the sequence with the giants had my jaw drop to the floor. It was just that gorgeous. And this is just easily one of the best films of the year. If you've not seen The Green Knight yet, it is getting a 4K Blu-ray release soon. It's out of theaters, but I believe it's on VOD now for you to rent. So, yeah, you can look for The Green Knight. Masterpiece. Really enjoyed this film. So that's kind of my top 5 best of the year of 2021 movies so far. I definitely think this is going to evolve into a top 10 once I'm able to see things like The French Dispatch, which hopefully does stay in its I believe November slate, and I see things like Last Night in Soho, The Many Saints in New York, Halloween Kills. I think those are going to get this list even longer. So I may add them to the list. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. I'm very excited to see what comes next towards the end of this year. We are getting into award season next month, so I'm sure we're going to see some pretty damn great stuff. I'm excited.